Hello everyone and welcome to Road America for round 4 of the 2018.1 South African simGT series. I'm Jason Holden-Jones and I'm joined in the commentary booth this evening by Werner Heenop. Welcome Werner.
Thanks Jason, it's good to be back in the commentary booth.
It's great to have you back, and we're looking forward to an exciting race I think this evening. A track sort of semi-old school one could say, and often proves to provide some great racing. And yeah, so we've got the qualifying session underway, the 15-minute session. It is Chris Langeveld who's left the pit lane first. He's on a mission, it seems. He's just the quickest in the final practice session with a lap time of a 2:03.6. So very quick lap time that is. And, let's see if we can put in a pole position for this evening.
Yeah, Langeveld's followed by Jadwat, Swanepoel, Steyn and McGeer are the first guys out on track. Langeveld coming around the final section of the racetrack now to start his first flying lap.
Yeah, so we're looking for a good exit now onto the quite a long main straight this is. So this should play into the hands of the Mercedes-Benz and the Nissan down the long straight. But we'll see the sort of fast corners as well, which is the McLaren come up as well as the Ferrari. But let's see what Langeveld can do on his first attempt. I'm actually going to go on board with Chris Langeveld.
He's going on board now. This is turn number 1, taken in 4th gear, 150 kilometers an hour. Slight right-handed turn 2. We just went past the highest elevation on the track. This is turn 3, going on to a long back straight here. Just under a kilometer in length, under the bridge. Then we're coming up to the moraine sweep, a slight left-handed. Cars will reach upwards of 260 kilometers an hour. Downhill, hard braking zone, good overtaking opportunity into turn 5, 2nd gear, 100 kilometers an hour. Now we start a very twisty section of the track, the sector 2 part, around turn 6, turn 7 coming up, taken in 4th gear, around about 170 kilometers an hour, 300 meters straight to a square left, turn 8. And now we get to a very important turn on the course, the carousel bend. We will see a lot of different racing lines as the mission here is to get good drive out of this turn onto a very long back straight with some turns in it. Underneath the bridge to turn 11, the kink. Taken in 5th gear, 230 kilometers an hour, the lowest point on the track as well. The left-hander kettle bottoms, and now a very good overtaking opportunity into turn 12. Guys would reach upwards of 270 kilometers an hour there. Turn 12 is the Canada corner. Coming through a very technical bit here. Bull Mitchell bend, turn 13. Coming into turn 14, the final right-hander onto this 1.1 kilometer final straight. Start-finish line with the pit lane on the right-hand side. And let's see what Christopher Langeveld can pull out of the bag here.
And it looks like his lap was invalidated for some reason. So perhaps track limit issue there for Chris Langeveld. And in the meantime, we've seen Jadwat's interprovisional pole with a 2:03.9, very quick first lap that is, and Carl Swanepoel up to 2nd at 2:04.6. Caldenes right behind him with a 2:04.67, 1/1000th of a second between Swanepoel and Caldenes, unbelievable. But Langeveld will try again now.
In our previous races at Road America in 2017.1 and 2017.2, Jadwat managed to qualify in pole position on both occasions, so it'll be difficult to beat him here. Let's see what Langeveld and the other guys can bring to the table.
See what Langeveld can produce now. He's up on his previous lap, whatever the lap time was. Apparently we can't see that, but I think it's pretty quick. Looks a very quick lap here by Langeveld. Nice lines, very confident on the brakes as well, which is highly important. meantime, we see Jason Ausmeyer put to 5th for RP Madcape. The 204.789. Embry in there with TDR at 6th position.
I think actually there's a problem with our timing app. It looks to me like Langeveld posted a 3.6, so he might just be in provisional pole position at this stage. Let's see what happens when he crosses the finish line now.
Yeah, there we go.
Even goes better, 203.5. Judd Watt doesn't improve on his time, so Langeveld in provisional pole position at this stage.
That's
fantastic lap, 4/10 of a second ahead of Judd Watt.
Yeah, that's actually quite a margin at this early stage. So everybody will be looking at that going, wow, Langeveld's obviously got an advantage here in the Mercedes-Benz. And Carl Swanepoel's improved his time, but not his position. He stays in 3rd, but improves to 204.220. Marcus staying right on his heels there as well in 4th position. Let's see what Jason Ausmeyer can do now. It's 4/10 up on his delta, and this could give him around, yeah, it could be 4th position if he can challenge Stain. Well, Swanepoel for 3rd, it's that close. 5/10 now, half a second. Shout out to Hugo de Witt and Wayne Wortley in the YouTube live chat. Welcome everyone.
Matthew Boyer is going to cross the start finish line now. He's 3/10 up on his delta. Let's see what he can post. He goes 10th. Govender is going to cross the finish line as well. I think he's starting his flying lap. And Absmeyer going around the final bend now. Almost 6/10 up on his delta. And I think this should be enough to go to 3rd position. It goes 2/100 of a second faster than Swanepoel.
Yeah, you called it Werner. Good lap there by Absmeyer. And RP Madcape to 3rd position. Let's see what Judd Watt's up to. He's up, yeah, it's almost 3/10. Oh, it's going to be close. He needs to nail this corner now. And he hasn't done so. He's losing time, unfortunately. So this will not be provisional pole position for Bashir Judd Watt at the moment. Let's go and have another look. Absmeyer stopped out on track. Who else is improving? Boy is up 2/10 of a second. Could give him 8th position if he carries on like this. And the Synergy Racing Nissan GTR. Runs a bit wide there, but doesn't lose too much time, does Matthew Boy? Different approach into that corner a bit earlier, but he's lost a bit of time, unfortunately. It hasn't worked. Did try something there. But Boy will not improve this lap. Langeveld up almost 2/10 of a second now. It's not good news for his challengers.
See, Govender is going to cross the start finish line. He's going to improve by almost a half a second.
Here comes the red racing Ferrari.
No, he was far behind the cock, but still improves half a second. Still down in 14th. Geldenhuys is coming down the home straight, but he's not going to improve. Langeveld lost some time. I don't think he's going to improve on this lap.
Judd Watt has started another out lap. Let's see what he can do this time, Werner. So we're feeling a bit of pressure now. He's got just under 5 minutes remaining. So maybe another 2 laps after this one.
3/10 of a second. That's a lot of work to do for him.
That's a lot of work, yeah. Looks like the car's had a bit of an incident as well. Looking a bit second hand is that Ghost Lux Nissan. So
rather have that qualifying, not damaged during the race.
Absolutely.
See, Matthew Boy is 3/10 up on his delta. The Cock is 1/10 up. Henbury 1/10. We could see some improvements. Jadwat's going to cross the start-finish line now to start another flying lap. Abs Myers coming across the start-finish line to start another lap.
And Haneka's gone 6th in the meantime with a 204.377. Much better there.
Henbury improves, but he still stays in 8th position.
Jadwat losing time there. Let's go on board with Bashir Jadwat with a cracked windscreen.
While we're on board with Jadwat, I see Boy is going to improve by 0.2 of a second. Could go to 9th. Yes, he does. McKay is going to improve by 1.2 seconds, but that's not going to give him any better positions. Govender, Jacobs, all coming across the start-finish line now. Jadwat 3/10 behind on his delta. He's not, doesn't look good.
I wonder if he's tried a setup change and hasn't quite worked out for him. But then again, the car is quite damaged, it seems, so I'm surprised he's carrying on. Maybe it's not too bad. But perhaps his last lap was absolutely flying, and he's like, I can't go faster than that with this current set, so perhaps he did change something. And it hasn't
We're
quite
struggling to get out of that windscreen of his.
Yeah.
Langeveld, I think the guys have time for one more flying lap to get to the start-finish line soon.
Abisma is slightly up on his delta, almost a 1/10 of a second. He needs, what, 3/10 to challenge Jadwat. It's all about that last corner. There's a bit too much to make up now, I think. Let's see what he can do now. No, it's not working out for him.
Oh, just lost some time there on turn 14.
Just trying to see if anybody else is improving for the moment. Doesn't look like it.
Lindsay Ray, no. Jacobs is going to improve. Halfway through the lap. Mike McGee as well, 1.8 seconds up on his delta. Looking at Jacobs now. Jacobs is currently running at 12th. He's going to need 1/10 of a second to move up. Lost some time there.
And Lindsay Ray's got him to 8th. We've got 205 dead. We had Jason Abs might disconnect from the server, so I'm not sure what that's about. Let's see if we can get back before the start of the race, hopefully. And Jacobs is not going to improve, unfortunately. Let's see what Jadwat's doing. He's not quite able to make it work at the moment. The dying stages of this qualifying session. He's at 10th down. Still trying though. I've got to hand it to him.
Swanepoel is looking good. He's almost 2/10 up on his delta.
Just as you say that, Werner, he loses the time.
Oh,
is that happening again tonight? The commentator's curse,
Sorry.
it strikes again. He was up 2/10 of a second.
I'm so glad I'm on this side of the commentary booth.
Yeah, I can't really talk either, I suppose. Yeah.
Oh, he made up some time again. 500ths of a second. Looking down the field, a lot of drivers improving. Nazima Edwards 4/10, Henbury 3/10 of a second, Steyn 1/10. So we could see some improvements here on the final seconds of this session. Swanepoel now coming around turn 12.
Just couldn't quite get the power down on that last corner.
Henbury is going to improve. He moves up to 7th. Mike McGee, he's not going to improve on his lap. Carl Swanepoel, lost some time. Holden-Jones and Heenop still coming around. Heenop is going to improve. Looks like he might squeeze out a 1/10 of a second, but he's losing a bit of time now. Going to improve by 1/100th of a second. Who do we have out on track? We have Lorio, Edwards, Steyn, slightly improving, and Mike McGeer is half a second behind in his delta.
Lorio pops up into 14th. It's the first step we've seen from him in the qualifying session. Good effort there from the SimTech racing driver. But Steyn is not going to improve so far. Let's see what he can come up with now. Nice and wide entry. No, he opts out of it, so that's it. And there's Christopher Langeveld, who start from pole position this evening. Great effort there by him and Redline Racing. So bring the man to beat this evening. And he'll be looking to take that championship lead back from Bashir Jadwat.
Rundown of the positions in the Redline Racing Mercedes is Langeveld with a 203.5. He did 5 flying laps. Squadro Ghostworks is Bashir Jadwat in the Nissan GT-R, did a 203.7. Wake Sim Racing Gold Kyle Swanepoel is starting in 3rd. 4th position we have Jason Absma in the RPM Mad Cape McLaren. Marcus Steyn is starting in 5th in the Squadro Ghostworks Nissan GT-R. Also in the GT-R in 6th place is Chris Heenop for Reaper Ghostworks. Mark Henbury with a 204.4 in the Netcare TDR Ferrari. He's starting in 7th. And 8th is the Mercedes Redline Racing of Peter Geldnys, 204.6. 9th is the Icor Racing of Brent Lindsay Ray. He's also in the Mercedes 205. 10th position, Synergy Spartan Nissan GT-R of Matthew Boyd, 205 as well. Just 8 thousandths of a second behind Brent Lindsay Ray. And 11th, we have Edwards, the 205.1 in the Reaper Ghostworks Nissan GT-R. Mike McGeer starting in 12th, 205.5 seconds in the M2 Racing Nissan GT-R. Gustav Jacobs in the Porsche 911, 205.6, he's starting in 13th. Sean Lorio starting in 14th in the McLaren 650, 206.0. Endrin Governor starting in 15th, 206.1. Victor de Kock in the McLaren starting in 16th, 206.2. And John McKay with the 207.8 in the Ferrari starting in 17th. Gerd James, Leslie Olifant, Quaid Claessens, Rian Lambrecht and Janu Boysens not joining us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And so predictions this evening, Werner, who do you think is going to take the victory tonight?
It's going to be close. It's going to be really close and an interesting battle, but I think it's going to be a 2-horse race between Jadwat and Langeveld, and I'm going to go with Jadwat.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm going to go with Langeveld.
It's going to be interesting. That's what it's all about. So unpredictable. Anybody can win. It's always nice to have a championship like this. Okay, the race is on, and we teleport to pits.
Yeah, we're doing our job by not leaving our cars in the pit lane, something I did last week. So good to not do that again. And Langeveld has started the formation lap for this 43 lap race this evening, and Langeveld will lead the bunch field around the circuits up until the last corner, where he will speed up to race pace and get things going. We're just to see how the Nissan gets on with the Mercedes-Benz down the long straight. The Nissan tends to have sort of low down torque, so it gets acceleration out of the corner, where the Mercedes-Benz comes in towards the end of the straight. So it'll be a very interesting battle to watch this evening. Oh, someone's gone off in the background.
Track. Oh, it's Heenop. I think it's Heenop. Yes. Oh, that's unfortunate. Jason, let's take a look at the championship standings.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Looks like Heenop got back to his position there in 6th. Didn't really see what happened there. He went farming, but maybe managed to stay in his position.
Yeah.
There he is, the Nissan.
Yeah, we now look at our championship standings on screen.
Gotta start up my YouTube here. Okay, Bashir Jadwat is leading. He got the win in Bathurst, 2nd position in Mugello and Laguna Seca, only 2 points behind is Langeveld on 95 points. He got a 5th place in Bathurst. He won the race in Mugello and got a podium in Laguna Seca. Jason Absma on 92 points. He got 2 podiums, a 2nd place at Bathurst and a 3rd at Mugello. Finished in 6th at Laguna Seca. Marcus Stein on 88 points with 2 4th places, Bathurst and Mugello. Quite Claasen's got a 3rd place at Bathurst, a 7th at Laguna Seca, and he's on 86 points. Followed by Lambrecht on 83. Boyd Bryson unfortunately not racing tonight. He's also on 83 points. Heenop on 81. Heenop got 3 top 10 positions, a 8th, a 7th and a 9th. Lindsay Ray with a 6th and a 10th at Mugello and Laguna Seca. He's on 80 points. And our top last in the top 10 is Mark Henbury on 79. Quite close season this.
Absolutely, and we are off here at Road America to start the race. Jadwat's got a run on Langeveld. This should be interesting in the slipstream down the main straight for the first time this evening. Langeveld goes defensive straight away, and Jadwat has to find his way around the outside if he can. Under braking we go now. But Langeveld goes deep. Will he make the corner? Yes, he does. Barely. Just run wide, but he keeps that position. And a great throw. Jadwat's got the inside line into the next corner. Turn 2, and he's got him. Has he? Langeveld goes on the outside. But Bashir Jadwat goes to the front. Langeveld's looking on the outside again, but it hasn't quite worked out for him. But Bashir Jadwat has gone to the front. Qualifying doesn't matter anymore. And he's gone to the front. And looking to open the go. Langeveld's coming back at him now. Next corner is a left-hander, so Jadwat's got that the right side for that corner. Langeveld on the outside now, brave! Wow, will he make the corner? No, he does, just. But Jadwat stays in front. So Swanepoel looks on from 3rd position. And he's got Stain for company. Absma up into 5th position, I think that is. A position change for him there. And
gotta say, that was some epic racing.
Absolutely. A lot of respect being shown there, Werner. Great to see.
Yeah. Bit down the field, Stein has passed Absmeyer for 4th position. I see Mike McGee has passed Edwards for 11th, and Laurier has passed Jacobs for 13th. And then obviously the position change here in front. Now Langeveld's coming back, coming to the kink at turn 11, trying to get that toe.
Seems to have got it.
It is on the outside, coming to turn 12. Hard on the brakes, and Jadwat is going. Oh,
he's going to try and get the slingshot there, cut back inside. It hasn't quite worked out for him. Jadwat was wise to it. He came across the circuit to stop that. There's a lot of great racecraft being shown here. And Swanepoel's watching on. He wants them to come together so he can go to the front, of course. But Swanepoel's catching up to them all the time. And here comes Stain in 4th position as well, not far behind at all. Jadwat goes defensive immediately because he knows the Merc's going to come strong towards the end of the straight. Let's go on board Langeveld.
Unfortunately, Laurier went off the last turn 14. I didn't see what happened there.
So we've still got a long way to go, so Langeveld will know that too. He doesn't need to push straight away. We're down 3 laps of 43, so plenty of racing to come. The race should be around 90 minutes as well.
Already 10 overtakes in this race. It just shows you it's really exciting circuit.
And Edwards and Jacobs are right together. We've got someone up the inside. It's Jacobs. Very late on the brakes. Doesn't quite make the corner. I think he's taken Boy with him. Governor trying to find a way past them as well. Hasn't quite worked out. Nazim Edwards up into 11th. He takes 3 positions, I think that was. Heineken and Hembry fight it out for 6th position. Hembry's gone up to 6th, outbreaking his former teammate. It's interesting there. Here comes Calvinus too. Around the outside. Wow, what a move. Yeah. Around the outside. Heineken's trying to go back at him though. Wow, that's confidence. So this Redline Racing Mercedes-Benz is really well set up here at Road America. The driver's able to extract everything out of them. And we've got these two right together now. The fight for the lead. Langevaart trying to go around the outside. Will he have the inside line for the next corner? Yes, he does. Oh, they make slight contact. My word, Swanepoel's watching on. He wants him to come together. He's winning them on. Swanepoel now, he needs to be right with him. Absolutely.
Langevaart with the toe now. These Nissans and Mercedes are very evenly matched.
Jadwatt goes defensive. Oh, but too much curb. He's going around. No, the Mercedes-Benz won't handle that. Off he goes. Oh, he will rejoin. Oh, that was my just avoids him as well. So that's a big pity for us. That was amazing racing until that happened. But Jadwatt now sitting pretty in the first.
Recovery from the position he was in.
Absolutely. You just try to get the cut back on Jadwatt up the inside again, and just used a bit too much curb, and off he went. As soon as he hit the curb, I'm like, oh, I think he's going to be off there. It's pretty rough on the inside there.
Lost 9 seconds with that incident.
It's taken a decision from Heineke as well. And now Heineke's under attack from Mark McGeer in the number 69. Up the inside goes Mark McGeer. Nicely done. So some incredible racing this evening. Wow.
Mark McGeer started 12th up to 8th already.
So of course the positive thing about this now, we get to see Langevaart fight his way back up the field. So, but Jadwatt now enjoying a second lead ahead of Swanepoel. And Heineke now under pressure from Lindsay Ray.
Taking a closer look at Langevaart's car, it doesn't look like he got too bad damage from that contact he had with the wall. So yeah, I think he's going to fight his way back. On board now with Lindsay Ray. He's right behind Heineke, trying to get good drive here, but I think Heineke has got better drive out the final turn onto the start-finish line. Actually, Heineke now looks like he's closing in on McGeer. He could get a tow here. The two Nissans fighting it out down the start-finish line, coming to turn 1 now. Heineke with a very good tow on the inside. Mike McGeer, not much he can do. He's going on the outside, long way around. Fantastic.
Wow, McGeer squeezing Heineke. Wow, incredible.
And there's a white line exception for turn 1, so there's no problem if he goes wide like that. Am I right, Jason?
Yeah, that is correct. Turn 1 and turn 12. Oh, I gotta catch my breath. So much action going on down the field.
Yeah.
And Langevaart's put a move on teammate Calvinus. Perhaps that was team order. Calvinus is the team principal. That team perhaps is letting his faster driver by there. Lindsay Ray's got that move on Heineke. It's coming off camera. Just distracted by that switch between the Redline Racing cars there. But Heineke now down to 10th and Lindsay Ray up to 9th.
Yeah, Heineke started in 6th, so he's dropped down to 10th.
And now under pressure from teammate Nazim Edwards, that's the Reaper Ghostworks outfit. Sister team to Ghostworks, those drivers Bashir Jadwatt and Marcus Stain, of course.
5 laps into the race, and apart from the off we saw from Langeveld, there's been no other incidents. I think it was only Laurier that had a spin. So it's a relatively clean race so far. And still 38 laps to go.
So still plenty of action remaining. We know it's Gustav Jacobs is under pressure from Adrian Govender. This is Smith Racing versus Red Racing. And Swanepoel just keeping in sort of contact with Judd Watts at gap still remaining under a second. Matthew Boy now chasing down Nazim Edwards.
So this is Absmeyer, Henbury behind him in the Ferrari. Henbury is on the soft tyres, Absmeyer on mediums, Langeveld also on softs. Got a good mix of medium and soft tyres. On the softs we have Henbury, Langeveld, Geldenhuys, McGeer, and Edwards and Laurier. Langeveld, oh, Henbury. Langeveld did a good job to avoid Henbury.
Christopher Langeveld's got the reactions of a cat, I'll tell you. How on earth did he avoid that? I don't know. But he did. And up to fifth, but heartbreak for Mark Henbury. Wow, he was really on a roll. That's killer.
He's still slow out on track, just cruising on the grass. Mike McGeer disconnected.
Yeah. But, I think Henbury was sustained quite a bit of damage. They actually had an accident here in the last season as well, around America, I think, as well. So, terrible luck here for Mark Henbury and TDR Netcat. That was unfortunate. Now this should be a very interesting battle between Absmeyer and Langeveld. Two very aggressive drivers, one could say. And Langeveld's got a run on Absmeyer. The Mercedes-Benz will have the advantage down the straights. And Langeveld's just going to slip up the inside. And Absmeyer's going to try and come back at him in the corner if he can. No, Langeveld defends well. So Langeveld's recovered to fourth already. Next up for Christopher Langeveld is Marcus Steyn. Marcus Steyn going fastest in the last chance qualifier session we ran on Thursday evening. The top 7 fastest drivers in that session were given grid slots for this evening's race in Division 1. And Marcus Steyn doing a great job in 3rd position so far, but has fallen back from Carl Swanepoel somewhat to the tune of around 5 seconds. And look at Langeveld, just upped and left Absmeyer. And Geldenhuys too is starting to put pressure on Absmeyer as well. So somebody who's improved dramatically this season is Peter Geldenhuys. He's putting a lot of work in practice and set up together with teammate Chris Langeveld.
By the end of lap 4, Langeveld was down to 7th position. So in 3 laps he made up 3 places.
Great midfield battle this is. The Lindsay Ray train. And he's under pressure from Heenop. Heenop getting his rhythm back, it seems, and up to pace. But I'm feeling absolutely gutted for Mark Emery. He was flying.
Yeah.
That Ferrari was really going well. Oh, big mistake there by Edwards, and this is going to enable Matthew Boyd to have a go at him. And Boyd goes through to 9th position pretty easily there. But Jacobs is looking to get in on the action. So far your predictions are coming true, Werner. Jadwat's in the front.
I got lucky.
Yeah, Langeveld's in 4th, but still over yet. So this is the 8 laps down to 43. Anything can happen.
I see Langeveld as the fastest lap of the race so far at 204.9. Jadwat's fastest lap 205.3, so 4 tenths of a second faster. But Langeveld is on the softs and Jadwat on the mediums. Langeveld is about 9 seconds behind Jadwat at this stage.
So I'm just going to talk about Bashir Jadwat a lot and see if the curse happens. Just saying. No, I won't do that.
Kyle Swanepoel is going to love that.
Kyle's not far behind. He's right there with Bashir Jadwat, showing some great pace there. In the Wake Racing Mercedes-Benz. And he's just keep applying pressure there to Bashir Jadwat. Jadwat cannot relax. He's only got a lead of 1.6 seconds. And any mistake that Jadwat makes, and Swanepoel will be right with him. Just to see what pit stop strategies the guys come up with for this evening.
We haven't really seen 2-stop strategies, but guys usually mix up the mediums and softs. So I wonder if Langeveld might go soft and then stop a bit earlier and go on to mediums. Or maybe he can make the softs last up to halfway race distance, but that'll surprise me.
You probably find Langeveld went to the soft tire at the start because obviously starting from pole position he was looking to sort of open up a pit stop gap in the front and then maybe come in and put the mediums on to run to the end. That could have been the strategy and sort of that's gone pear-shaped unfortunately, but he's recovering nicely. It's just 7 tenths of a second behind Marcus Stan, so that gap's come right down. We're going to go and look at the Boy Edwards battle for 9th position. This midfield battle is hotting up nicely. It's been simmering for a while now, and it's about to come to a conclusion, I feel. Let's see what happens. Jacobs is going to run on Edwards. He's going to move the inside line into the following corner. Nice move there. Nicely calculated. Edwards trying to come back at him. And the Porsche is not bad down the main straight as well. So the Porsche should be able to keep that Nissan behind him. Let's see what happens now. Edwards looking for a good drive. He didn't quite get it. So the Porsche is pretty good out of the corners, as you would expect with that engine layout it has. Edwards trying to come back at him around the outside. Jacobs goes defensive. Edwards is going to get the drive out of the corner though. No, it's not close enough at all.
Long straight this, almost a kilometer long going to turn 5. Joy is a bit too far. Maybe he's going to try the dive bomb. No. Lorio is in the pits. Looks like a planned stop. Okay, now I think he's got some damage on that car.
Langeveld now challenging Steyn is right with him. That gap just a 10th of a second. So
Langeveld's last lap is second faster than Steyn. Here he comes.
That's an aggressive move there.
Steyn nicely keeping up around the outside. Another white line exception there around turn 12, and then neck and neck. Still Steyn is not letting it go, but now Langeveld pulls ahead into the final turn, and Langeveld up to third place, 7 seconds behind Swanepoel.
That was fantastic driving by both drivers.
Jadwat's lap was a 205.5 and Langeveld 206.6, so I think he got held up a bit behind Steyn. But
oh, Steyn's going for a move up the inside. Wow, what a move that was. Under braking. Wow. That did not, Langeveld did not see that coming. Wow, I'm speechless. That was incredible.
Yeah, Steyn is
I was
saying,
not expecting that.
You're not going anywhere.
So Langeveld would be thinking, what the hell was that? I'm going to have to do that again.
Here comes Langeveld.
Yeah. Does the same thing to Steyn. Oh, Langeveld's up, done the corner. Comes back at him. Steyn makes room. Nicely done. Marcus Steyn. Steyn's got the...
Slight touch there.
Yeah. Steyn should have the right side of the corner. Yes, he does. And Langeveld's trying to cut back. Oh, this is fantastic racing.
Redline Racing versus Ghostworks. Mercedes versus Nissan. Here we go again down this back straight.
Oh, Steyn went on slightly wide. He's compromised himself slightly. Langeveld's right with him. Oh. Steyn's gone defensive. He allows room for Langeveld. Nicely done. Langeveld's surely not going to go around the outside, is he? Side by side. Incredible racing this is.
I think Langeveld has got him this time, but Steyn probably will look again up to turn 1 up the inside if he can get close enough now.
Absolutely incredible racing this evening. I don't think Steyn's close enough, but let's see what happens now. I said that last time round. No. Langeveld's made a slight error there running wide.
Missed the apex.
He did. It seems to be safe. And I think Steyn was just trying to hold up Langeveld as much as he can. As I think Ghostworks realizes that Langeveld's much quicker than both of their cars, even with Jadwat at the front. And Langeveld now sets his sights on Kyle Swanepoel, who's a good 10 seconds up the road. So that's quite a tall order before the first round of pit stops happens.
Jadwat is turning up the heat out in front. He just did a 205.2. So he is opening up the gap. Swanepoel is keeping up nicely, but Langeveld lost a lot of time. He's 12 seconds behind the leader now. Make that 13.
Okay. What tires is Swanepoel running, Werner?
Swanepoel is on mediums. Okay. Jadwat, Swanepoel on mediums, Langeveld on soft. Geldnys and the other Redline Racing Mercedes also on softs. So do you think the softs suit the Mercedes better?
I wouldn't say so, no, but obviously Redline have figured out how to set up that car properly with the soft tyre. And I run the Mercedes-Benz sometimes as well, and I found sort of halfway through a race the soft just totally let go or through a stint. But clearly Redline have found something in the car that works. And, yeah, it's great work by them.
Edwards just lost 4 seconds on this lap, and he lost the position to Lecoq.
Victor Lecoq on debut in the South African simGT series this evening, replacing Donnie Steenkamp, who cannot race this evening, unfortunately.
Lecoq has made up 6 places. He started in 16th.
Yeah, being nice and consistent, staying out of trouble. That's what it can bring you. Absolutely.
With Jadwat now out in front. Just set the fastest first sector of the race at 43.7. Swanepoel and Langeveld also 43.7 first sector. And 43.8 for Marcus Steyn. So very evenly matched through that first couple of turns. Now we see Gustav Jacobs and Edwards coming into turn 5, and Edwards is keeping his nose ahead. No, Gustav Jacobs is coming back.
Oh, he's gone off there.
I think it's Heineke.
No, it's Edwards.
Oh, it's Edwards. Edwards lost 9 seconds. See, Governor lost a second and a half on this lap. Mackay is off, back of the field. Back on track now, he lost 8 seconds. Abs, my new personal best lap for him, 205.9. Abs my running in 4th. He's currently 3rd in the championship in 92, only 3 points behind Langeveld and 5 points behind Jadwat. He got 2 podiums, 2nd in Bathurst and 3rd in Mugello and a 6th in Laguna Seca.
Big shout out to everybody in the YouTube live chats. When Warty says I will buy Carl lunch if he wins this race. Race for your lunch, race for your stomach, Carl. And Bongi Leader says maybe if we can get Werner to praise Bashir's driving a bit more, then a win for Carl might be possible. Hashtag commentator's curse.
Okay, let's go to Jadwat. I'll just keep on saying how good he is. Have we ever commentator cursed him? I can't think of
I'm
once.
sure we have done everybody by now.
Let's do a whole session where we only commentate in Jadwat. Edwards in the pits. I think he's probably repairing damage. He's out again. Swanepoel's really keeping up nicely with the pace of Jadwat, 2.5 seconds behind now, and I see Langeveld is closing in. Langeveld is lapping 0.2 of a second faster than Jadwat. He's averaging 0.2 of a second over the last 5 laps. So So slowly but surely he's closing in. Something significant is going to have to happen out in front for Langeveld to get a shot at winning this race. Swanepoel consistent as ever. New personal best laps for De Kock and Jacobs. As we look at Steyn now running in 4th. Marcus Steyn also 4th in the championship. It's just behind Jason Absmeyer on 88 points, 4 points behind Absmeyer. He got a 4th in Bathurst and a 4th in Mugello, is Marcus Steyn.
Unfortunately, Sean Laurier leave the server for whatever reason. He's disconnected a couple of times, I think. So having line issues this evening, unfortunately.
Just past 1/3 race distance. There's already been 55 overtakes in this race. Most of them coming from Jacobs. He's made 8 overtakes. Sorry, actually Langeveld. Langeveld has made 11 overtakes. Probably from that battle with Steyn.
So Langeveld's a good, what, 10 seconds behind Judd Watt. So let's see if that gap comes down. And how quickly it comes down. So Swanepoel's falling back from Judd Watt now. They gap up to 3 seconds.
Yeah, Langeveld is lapping 0.4 of a second faster than Judd Watt. So it's going to take quite a while to close that 10-second gap. But the pit stops are going to change everything. We're going to have to wait and see what happened there.
Absolutely.
Lindsay ran the Eichel Racing Mercedes-Benz. He's followed closely by Heenop. Lindsay Ray started 9th, running in 7th at this stage. The field is quite spread out now. The race has settled down somewhat. New personal best laps by McKay and Edwards. Lindsay Ray still closely followed by Heenop. Let's see what lap times they have. Looks like they're lapping pretty much the same lap times. 207.8. Actually, Heenop half a second faster than Lindsay Ray on that lap.
I think very late on the brakes there. But Lindsay Ray slow into the corner and quicker out. So different approaches to that last corner. That gap at the front stabilizing now. Swanepoel is meant sort of not allowing that 3-second gap to increase for the moment.
Swanepoel's last lap was 0.3 faster than Judd Watt. But yeah, it's stabilizing just under 3 seconds, but Langeveld is closing in. It's closing in at it's now 0.6 of a second.
I'm board now with Chris Heenop in the Reaper Ghostworks Nissan. And chase down the R-Car Racing Mercedes-Benz and Brent Lindsay Ray into the final corner we go of the track. And then down this big long main straight now. Some start advantage on the Mercedes-Benz as the time comes down ever so slightly. Into turn on we go. Short shift there by Chris Heenop, using the torque of the 3.8 V6 turbo simGTR.
I've always been wondering, is there a dirty air effect in Assetto Corsa that the car in front disturbs the air or not?
Yes, I think there is a slight effect. I think you notice that more in the simGP series with the Formula 2 cars as well.
Oh, the heavy aero cars.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the effect is not so big here in the GT cars, but I think there's a slight effect, yeah. So we've got Langeveld in third position, closing the gap to Jadwat all the time. There's quite a lot of time left for things to change, so it's certainly not over yet.
Your prediction can still come true. Langeveld's last lap at 2:05.2, which is 0.2 of a second off of his fastest lap of the race. So he's really turning up the heat now.
It was 9/10 of a second quicker than Langeveld that last lap now. They just crossed the line. Somehow Redline are making the soft tyres work in the Mercedes-Benz. Normally the Nissan is very good on the softs. Perhaps Jadwat's on the wrong tyre. Because the Nissan is very good on the softs normally.
We're approaching halfway. We can expect to see the pit stops within the next 2 or 3 laps. McKay has had an off. It's passed by Edwards. McKay losing 12.5 seconds. And now Heenop right behind Lindsay Ray. Out of that dirty air.
Slightly dirty.
Yeah. This is actually a big championship battle for them as well. Lindsay Ray 9th in the championship on 80 points. Heenop 8th on 81.
Wow.
So this could be a big fight for them.
Oh, Heenop running wide. Jadwat with a 206.1 last time round. Swanepoel with a 205.8. 3 tenths, and Langefeld with 206 dead. Abismar now is trying to challenge Stein for 4th position.
He's got a little bit of a toe.
Oh, goes left, right, trying to unsettle Stein, and it sort of worked.
Now he's got the drive.
But the drive now, the grunt of the Nissan will come into play, but the McLaren's not doing too badly. Side by side, here comes the Nissan, just pulls out in front. Abismar in the slipstream. Abismar goes outside, Stein defends well for the moment. Abismar gets the power down nicely. Holden-Jones watches on from 6th position, just 2 seconds behind these two. Abismar just feathering the throttle through that last corner. Oh, he's losing the back end. And his rear tires are starting to give up. But the McLaren is twitchy. It's flaw, unfortunately.
Now again he's got good drive onto the back straight.
Yeah, the McLaren's got far superior aero compared to the Nissan.
Here he comes.
Didn't go for a move. Slight contact. Just bumps him wide. Not too bad. That's pretty fair. Abismar needs to be in the slipstream of the Nissan now, otherwise the Nissan's going to disappear up the road. There's a good drive now. Stein runs wide. Great drive here by Abismar. Into the slipstream he goes. Oh, Stein goes to the pits. Zero and Haneka go past.
There we see Stein moving again. He entered in 4th position. And we got Engine Governor coming past on the start-finish line. So Stein's going to exit in 12th. First scheduled stop of the race.
And it's important that he's in clean air. He doesn't have any traffic to deal with.
In the last lap, Langefeld took 1/10 of a second out of Jadwat. Swanepoel didn't have a good lap, 206.3. So he lost a half a second to Jadwat in the last lap. Back with Lindsay Ray and Heenop behind him. Langefeld is going into the pits from 3rd. Stein at 49 seconds from pit in to pit out. Let's see what Langefeld has. Abismar also into the pits. Abismar entered from 4th position.
It'll be interesting between Abismar and Stein now, when Abismar leaves the pits, because they were right together. Before
Lindsay Ray, Heenop also into the pits. I think Boy as well. Yes. I think Jacobs is coming into the pits. Yes. Langefeld out. Langefeld only losing 2 positions.
That strongest up here by Absmeyer. Stan's easily going to have him, I think. Is he? No, it's going to be close. No, Stan's going to have it, Chili. It's got the momentum. Yeah. So Stan wins that pit stop battle. Getting the undercut on Absmeyer, as it were. Coming in a bit earlier. Quick onto fresher tyres. And now comes that Absmeyer rejoins 2.5 seconds behind Stan.
Heenop and Boy out of the pits, and Jacobs exiting now as well. Absmeyer stopped 3 seconds slower than Langeveld and 2 seconds slower, or 3 seconds slower than Stein and 4 seconds slower than Langeveld, so he lost some time in the pits.
Perhaps Absmeyer is changing a pit stop setting that took a bit longer. Could have been. Perhaps the last minute strategy change explains that a couple of seconds. Yeah.
Jadwat's coming in. Swanepoel staying out. So Swanepoel, new race leader.
So fascinating to see how long Swanepoel stays out now. You'll be hoping that Jadwat rejoins in traffic.
Holden-Jones going into the pits. Lindsay Ray is coming in as well. And I think Jadwat will exit ahead of Langeveld. Langeveld is coming around the last turn now. Jadwat starting to move. Langeveld just coming up to the start finish line. Jadwat is out and he's going to be safe from Langeveld quite easily. The Cock in the pits as well. Governor coming in. So Swanepoel and McKay, the only drivers still yet to make their stops. Jadwat, Langeveld, Stein, Holden-Jones and Lindsay Ray, all of them 49 seconds pit in to pit out. So it's only Absmeyer that lost 3 seconds in the pit stop.
Did Jadwat take mediums again, or did he change the softs?
Jadwat still on mediums.
Okay.
Langeveld on softs. So he opted for softs again. Stein mediums, Absmeyer mediums, Holden-Jones soft. So the tyres haven't changed.
Here comes Swanepoel in from the race lead. See how he gets on compared to Langeveld.
See, Nazim Edwards have switched from softs to mediums. The rest of the field stayed on the same tyres. With Jadwat now, Swanepoel still stationary in the pits, and Jadwat should easily get ahead. There we see Swanepoel, and there Swanepoel starts to move. So Jadwat, Langeveld might get ahead of Swanepoel. It's going to be close. Actually, no, Swanepoel is going to get it.
But that gap's come right down.
Yeah, actually it looks like Swanepoel lost some time to Jadwat over these last 3 or 4 laps, and Langeveld blows right up to Swanepoel by about 3 seconds.
Yeah. I think when fighting somebody else, it was better to come in a bit earlier, get the undercut, get the fresher tyres on, and then get out straight away. All the other drivers on the older worn out tyres staying out longer, and just gain their time in the switch over phase.
Swanepoel sticking to the mediums. So Langeveld now is 8 seconds behind Jadwat. I'll take a look at his lap times and let's see what we can expect by the end of the race. It looked like Langeveld was closing up all through the race, but we don't know if Jadwat is really putting on his pace. Maybe he was taking it a bit easy.
I just find it amazing that Redline are making the soft tire work when the others are using the mediums. Very impressive.
Langeveld's closing in quickly on Swanepoel. Maybe Swanepoel is taking some time to get the heat into his tires. That gap was 2.5, it's 1.5 seconds now. Jadwat's last lap at 2:05.4, Langeveld's last lap 2:04.8. So Langeveld's 0.6 of a second faster than Jadwat. And that gap less than a second now between Langeveld and Swanepoel.
Yeah, Langeveld will be wanting to get past Swanepoel as soon as possible. Jadwat's just 6 seconds up the road, and we've got, what is it? 18 laps remaining. There's still plenty of time for plenty more action to happen. But Langeveld needs to get past Swanepoel as soon as he can, if he is to take it to Jadwat.
Langeveld now only a couple of car lengths behind. Close that 2-second gap in 2 laps. There we see 0.7 of a second faster Langeveld in the last lap. And Jadwat did a 2:05.6. So Langeveld 0.6 of a second faster than Jadwat again. On board with Langeveld. I think he's just too far this time to make his move into turn 5.
No mistake there by Swanepoel. He's really battling with those tires, I think.
Looks like the Henbury is disconnected. Langeveld now on the outside. Just taking a look there, trying to unsettle Swanepoel. Coming to turn 8. Swanepoel defensive. Drifts wide, Swanepoel coming into turn 9 now, and I think Langeveld is just going to have it. Better racing line here for a good exit onto the straight. Actually keeping it very tight. Here comes Langeveld now. Swanepoel going off the track. Hard on the brakes, Langeveld on the inside.
Oh, yeah, hit the curb. Langeveld hit the curb, unsettled the car, and he hit He couldn't do anything about it. Into Swanepoel he went.
Similar to that first incident he had. Goes over the curb and lost the back end.
Yeah. And those soft tires are overheating now like crazy after that big slide. But I've got a feeling that's ended the challenge for victory here. I think it was. Let's see what happens.
Lost 10 seconds.
Yeah, just trying to ride the curb a bit too hard. It's actually amazing that Swanepoel got away with it as well.
Really keeping it together there, but Swanepoel lost some time there. He lost about 3 to 4 seconds. So this is good news for Jadwat out in front. Lindsay, Ray and Henbury disconnected. That's unfortunate. So we're only left with 13 drivers on track.
It's been a race of attrition, unfortunately.
See, Matthew Boy is again close to Heenop. Perhaps he can make his move this time. Oh, Heenop losing the back end, doing a 180. Covers quickly onto the grass, losing another position there to Jacobs. That cost him about 11 seconds, losing 2 places there. And Lindsay Ray is back in the race, it seems. That was unfortunate for Heenop, but good news for Boy, he's up to 7th position.
So Lindsay rejoins. I think he had a sort of a line dropped. Good to see him back in the race. Some good points to be had here. I mean, there's only 14 runners, so 14th is a solid points haul anywhere. So yeah, that was really unfortunate that Langenfeldt and Swanepoel came together there. It was going to be an interesting battle, I think, for the win of this race. I think it was adding up nicely until then.
Yeah, with 15 laps remaining, he's not going to catch up to Jadwat. He might just catch Swanepoel, but it looks like Swanepoel is really doing some good laps. His last lap, the quickest of all the drivers, 2:05.8. So I don't think Langenfeld's going to catch up to either Swanepoel or Jadwat. Steyn and Avsmeyer, they are lapping quite evenly, only 1/10 of a second difference on their last laps.
Mark McGear is reporting on our forum that his pedal shift, downshift broke on him. So hardware issues there for Mark McGear.
For Mike McGear?
Yeah.
Well, then don't downshift, just upshift.
Downshift just
keep
slows you
going
down.
fast.
Just keep going up.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Gee.
Yeah, sure. So unfortunately for us, the field's pretty spread out at the moment. What's the closest gap? I think it's this one, Absma and Stan. Just 1.3 seconds separating them, so just keep an eye on them for the moment. And of course, what's that gap at the front? So it is 10 seconds between Jadwin and Swanepoel, another 10 to Langeveld. The gap separating the podium for the moment.
Yeah, 10, 7 second gap, so I don't think we're going to see changes up front unless something major happens. Field spread out very far actually. It's only this Absma Stain battle. Maybe you can sing us a song, Jason.
Sing
Just
it.
to spice things up.
No, lucky guys. Lucky guys. You have to bear that.
Next time.
Next time. And of course, if you're watching this live stream and you want to get involved in the racing at SimRace South Africa, you're very welcome to do so. There are only a couple of races remaining of the current season. But the new season, I think, I'm sort of looking at the calendar, I think we're looking sort of mid-July, I think it is, for the 2018.2 season. And but you're very welcome to get involved in the racing straight away. And you can visit our website at simracesa.co.za. Have a look at our Getting Started page. You can have a read, and then the sign-up forms at the bottom of that page. And once you signed up, you'll get an email from me explaining how to go forward. And, yeah, come and race with us. Absma is now closing the gap to stay in. That gap is just over a second. Or as I say that, Absma makes a mistake.
Yeah, he was half a second faster than Stein on the last lap. These two fourth, and Marcus Stein is fourth in the championship and Absma third.
Yeah.
So Absma is 4 points ahead. If it stays like this, Stein will close in by 1 point in the Absma.
Absolutely. Of course, Jason Absmeyer winning the Speed Stars competition. That was on channel 189 DSTV. It's a reality show. And Jason using his sim racing experience to win the competition. And he has won himself a trip to France to do a tyre testing experience with Goodyear. And then he'll be off to Belgium to watch the World Rallycross round at Mettet, Belgium, and to spend the day with VW. So he's up for a great experience in a couple of weeks' time. And a big congratulations to him.
Prize.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great prize.
Yeah, it just shows that the skill set learned in sim racing can mostly be transferred to the real thing. And Absma just having that upper hand on everybody else. And I believe the final of the competition was a handicap race, which saw Jason start right at the back and he had to pass everybody. And he passed everyone except for one car, but that car was disqualified at the end due to a technical, some sort of infringement. I think it was a driving infringement with another car. And that earned Jason the victory in that competition. So congratulations to him, and hope he enjoys his prize. I would. So.
I watched that show on YouTube.
Yes.
He started probably 25-30 seconds behind the leader, and he made up all that time over, I think it was 7 or 8 laps.
Absolutely.
So
and it was also in the wet at Swartkops, so that's quite something.
It was funny for me when they said none of the people you have driving experience or racing experience Then I thought, yeah, if you count sim racing, Jason Absmeyer must have at least 50 races under his belt.
Oh, many more than that, I think.
Yeah. Plus.
Yeah, but kudos to him. Great stuff. I was actually watching a talk by Marcel Offermans. He's the developer, he heads up the development of R Factor 2. And he was talking about, sim racing is the perfect esports. And he was actually, went on to talk about the Olympics and how the Olympics are looking at esports and all the rest of it. And all the other esports are already violence based, basically. I mean, that's not really part of the Olympic spirit. And he sort of made a case that sim racing should be part of the Olympics. It's actually incredible what he came up with, or what he was saying. But anyway, while we were saying that now, Absmeyer is right with the stone. This is the battle for 4th position. It's not for the podium, but it's for some great points. Yeah, we'll make contact. We saw an error like this in the last season as well. But Stain survived. Wow, he must have had a lot of counter steer through that last corner. And
here comes Holden-Jones.
Holden-Jones will get a run on Absmeyer, and he's not quite close enough.
Absmeyer losing 3 seconds.
Yeah. So getting back to what I was saying, basically Marcel Offermans was saying that sim racing is the perfect esport. You're basically developing a skill set for a real sport, where the skills transfer over quite a lot of it. I mean, obviously you don't have the G-force and whatnot in sim racing, but I mean the way you turn the steering wheel and the way you work the pedals, it's very similar indeed. So.
A lot of skill involved. I think people that don't do sim racing underestimate the amount of skill that is involved and focus.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I have a bride home and I have friends over and they see the simulator, they see the rig, and they're like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, it's my rig. It's for sim racing." What is sim racing? Like, well, get in, have a go. And they often say, "Well, it's really, really difficult." So
yeah.
Actually, the fastest non-sim racer that tried my rig out was, in fact, a lady. She was amazing. So off the bat, she would have killed all my other friends. Not a problem. So that was great to see.
And it's addictive. The other day as well, a lady raced here on my rig, and she couldn't stop. Probably about 3-4 hours.
Wow.
She was like, "No, another one."
Absolutely.
Talking about racing rigs, our sponsors, maybe you can say a word about them. SimTech.
Yeah, absolutely. This live stream is brought in partnership with SimTech Simulation, which is based in PE, and they make button boxes customized to however the customers want them to be. Very nice. In fact, the winner of the South African simGT Series Championship, the Drivers Champion, will receive a button box from SimTech Simulation. So that's an absolute great prize to win. And we also have G4 Sim on board for the season. They also make simulator rigs, and also based in Port Elizabeth, funny enough. I'm also from Port Elizabeth too, so there's obviously something in the water there. Yeah, it's great to have them on board. So go check out their websites. The links to their websites are in the description of this video. And there's some great quality stuff coming through. As we watch now, Jacobs now looking to challenge Boy. The gap down to 0.2 of a second. Down the mesh, we got that Porsche. It's got the power down the straight to hang with, and listen. The Porsche's in the slipstream. Look at that. Here comes Jacobs. Pulls out of the slipstream, under braking. We go into turn 1. And Jacobs has got him for the moment. It's the battle of the green wings. And Jacobs is through. Look at that. Nicely
Really
done.
solid move. And they're coming up behind the back marker now. Maybe Boy can make his move as they pass the back marker. Yeah. It is John McKay. Boy looking up the inside. Maybe wisely deciding against it. We've got 10 laps to go in this race.
Edwards in the pits for whatever reason. Yeah, if you're watching this, you want to get involved with the community. I mean, if you're not able to race yet, you can join our forum and also our Discord server, which is pretty active. And come and have a chat to us. I'm just not quite able to get to Stain. I think he's trying everything.
Yeah, anybody looking at this, I recommend starting out with the open races and or even just signing up for 2018.2 season. We've got our Division 1 and Division 2 races. So there's place for everybody at Sim Racing. So.
Absolutely. We haven't run the open races for a while, I must admit. I'm looking at bringing them back for 2018.2. I've just got to look and see if I have time for it, but I think I will have. Because they brought in a lot of new faces last season. But time has been an issue this season. But perhaps for 2018.2, I'm looking at everything again. And
what is the schedule for RSA Protea Sim Sport, the sim racing you're doing there?
We are coming towards the end of the Virtual Endurance Championship season. And actually the final race is on the 3rd of June, I think it is. It's the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So we've got a 5-man squad for that race. And we start preparation already. And we've got the qualifying session on the 26th of May. And yeah, we're in preparation for that. We will be in the Corvette GTE, in the GT class, of course. And yeah, we already had the 6 hours of Le Mans in the Virtual Le Mans series, which had a car in that, and I drove that with Brenton Ziret. And we actually, yeah, we got Brent in to start the race, and he did very well for little preparation. And I took over the car with 4 hours to go, and I did a 4-hour stint, and we came from the back of the field after an issue in qualifying, and we finished 9th, so it was a very exciting race. And sort of 4 hours is the longest stint that I've ever done, so that was very challenging. But I had Boyd Bryson in my ear as my race engineer, and he kept me entertained throughout the 4-hour stint. And yeah, big thanks to him for that, because I'm not sure if I could have done it without him. And yeah, no, we want to bring in more drivers into the Protea team. We want to expand into other competitions as well. Perhaps add another car in the Virtual Endurance Championship for the new season. And yeah, the races are on a Saturday, so that can be difficult sometimes. And they're running, yeah, well, late into the night on Saturday night, or even into the next day. So with a 24-hour race, of course. And, but endurance racing is another kettle of fish. It's all about consistency and not driving the car absolutely flat out. It's more driving sort of 7, 8 tenths, 8 out of 10 from a sort of a pushing point of driving. And yeah, now we've got Absma right with Stain now. So again, the battle for 4th position. Let's see what happens now. Perhaps Absma's going to have a go.
Let's see what happens this time. Oh, very, very close.
Wow.
Inches apart, the two cars. Stein doing well to defend that. Absma very aggressive there. Absma all over the back of that Nissan GTR of Stein. So with the Le Mans, is it also 24 hours sim racing?
Yes, it's 24 hours, yeah.
And your stint is 4 hours. Very, very. Okay, you're 3 or 5 drivers. You said team of 5. Stein doing.
Yeah, so we are a team of 5 drivers. It's myself, Boyd Bryson, Chad James, Lance Garrisino, Gabriel So will be joining us. Was it 4 drivers I said now? Just trying to remember. And yeah, so we're 5 drivers. And yeah, we'll probably be doing 3 hour stints, and we'll just be cycling through the drivers until we get to the end, hopefully. So you never know what can happen.
And that is an R Factor 2.
That's an R Factor 2, yeah. So the races are hosted by Sim Racing Club. It's an official R Factor 2 league. And yeah, you get the very best sim races in R Factor 2. It's a huge challenge.
And if I'm right, the cars break down in R Factor 2.
Yes, absolutely. It's a more advanced sim than Assetto Corsa. Yeah, much more simulated based. Yeah, it's a huge show. We enjoyed it very much, but it's a lot of practice, and you really see the character of the team when, say, in a 12-hour race you DNF after 8 hours. It's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
But yeah, we built a solid base. We look a lot at telemetry and setting the car up. Big moment there. Oh, how did he hang on to that? Wow, that was incredible. And he didn't really lose a lot of time to stay in either. So that was just mind-boggling. Great skill there.
Yeah, that was good. And he's still behind Stein. He didn't lose a lot of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the other aspect of the endurance racing is that you have different classes as well. So you've got the LMP1s and LMP2s, which also is another challenge to sort of when they come up behind you, and sort of how they approach you, and if they go for a move, you should give them space. The official rule is that they're meant to find a way around you, but very often they'll try and sort of go for the dive up the inside, and you've got to be aware to it. Oh, stands on wide. Here comes Absmeyer. Oh, he's in the slipstream now. Sure, he's going to have a go. He's got the inside line. Surely he's going to have him now. Absmeyer up the inside, but Stain's going to get the power down. Yeah. Oh, on the outside. Oh, they're going to make slight contact. So Stain's got off. Has he? No, he hasn't. He's hung on to it. Incredible skill being shown here tonight.
Absmeyer's through.
Yeah.
Geldnight's also in the picture.
Yeah. Come on, Peter, give us a show. You can do this. You've got 2 cars to pass. So.
And another thing with that endurance racing is the night racing and the weather conditions.
Yeah,
I'm actually very excited about the new Assetto Corsa. We'll have that as well.
Yes, yeah. So our factory's got transition into night, and it's got rain.
Here comes Geldnight.
Yeah, Geldnight's there. Let's have a look there. Oh, Geldnight's looking around the outside.
Taking the wider line.
Yeah, so our Factory's got day and night, it's got rain, it's got a drying line, so when it rains and it dries, and also the racing line dries faster than the rest of the circuit, all the rest of it. And the new Assetto Corsa Competition, I can't even say it. Assetto Corsa Competition in English, just to say that.
Yeah.
It's coming. I think early access is in, June, July this year, I think it is. Yeah, and hopefully they'll have it all sort of finished and ready by the beginning of our 2019 season. That would be great. Which will probably most likely move over to that. It is just GT racing, GT3 racing. There is talk of GT4 being included as well, which is pretty exciting. Let's see what happens. Yeah, and it's a fully licensed Blancpain GT game. So everything that you get in Blancpain GT, you will find in Assetto Corsa Competition.
Competition.
There we go. So you can say it. Why is that spin? That's John McCat.
I've even seen an R-Factor. It looks like the marbles on the outside of the driving line.
Yes, yeah.
You know, the piece of rubber.
Yeah, you'll see that. Yeah.
That's insane.
R-Factory's got a very advanced tire model. They literally take a tire, say from a GT3 car, and they'll study it like crazy. They'll actually tear it apart and see the different layers of the tire and try and model that into the simulator. It's totally insane. Yeah, R-Factor 2, it's incredibly powerful, but at the same time it also drains a lot of the computer's resources too at the same time. So you need quite a beefy PC to run it well. But yeah, an incredible simulator, yeah.
Have you spoken to Calvin van der Linde after his last race here at Simrace SA?
Yeah, Calvin said that he needs more practice. That's obviously. I think he decided on the spur of the moment, sort of like at lunchtime, that he's going to enter the race with us at Laguna Seca. And then he needed to get all the DLCs and all the rest of it. And I think that just ran off, right? And he needs to go somewhere in the afternoon. And I think he came back and he just didn't have enough practice. And yeah, I mean, it was his first day with the Assetto Corsa, basically. And to actually get, I think in the final practice, he was 10th or something, which is incredible. I mean, to have that straight away. It's amazing. And hopefully we'll have Calvin back. He said next time he's going to do something else. He's going to try something different. So I'm like, great. Yeah, we'll lovely to have you again. And so Calvin doing very well in the Blancpain GT series. He got a podium yesterday at Brands Hatch after challenging for the win in race 1, mind you. Before getting a puncture, and he fell back to 8th before he crossed the line, unfortunately.
Yeah, he was running second until the second last lap of the race, just after the safety car. That was really unfortunate. Yeah. In the first race, he was running second and then dropped to 8th, right at the end of the race.
It was amazing. I was shouting at the screen.
Yeah.
Come on, you can do it. Because actually it was exciting to watch him because he was using far more aggressive racing lines when compared to the other cars. He would cut the corner much sooner than the rest. And it was almost unnerving the car in front of him as well. I could see the other drivers were like, what is this guy doing? And that way somehow Calvin was faster. I don't know if he was able to scrub speed off like that quicker without using so much of the brakes. I don't know what that was. But if you have a look at the YouTube channel called GT World, and watch the first race, or watch both races of the Blancpain GT Sprint Cup race at Brands Hatch. And if you watch Calvin how he's driving in the, I think it's a number 66 car, I think it was, in the number 66 Audi. And you just watch how he uses different lines to the other drivers. It's brilliant to watch, yeah. And it's really, really quick. Yeah.
I'm not a big Brands Hatch fan. It's so difficult to overtake. Yeah, it's almost impossible. Calvin was, okay, here we see Calvin is looking for a move. But yeah, at Brands Hatch, Calvin was closing up so fast and he got right behind the leader and about 10 laps couldn't overtake. Yeah. Well, nobody was overtaking really.
Yeah.
I think the track is too narrow and the straights are too short. Well, that's my opinion.
Yeah. It's not really a track for overtaking, but yeah, some drivers can make it work.
It's an older track, you know.
Yeah, it's more, that's cool. If you make a mistake, you're punished. So yeah, we're looking forward to the new Assetto Corsa. Started hype about it already. And the graphics look insane. Although there wasn't really a problem for Assetto Corsa now, what we're running now. But certainly the day-night transition with rain is going to be quite something.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
I'm suspecting there'll probably be driver swaps too, so it'd be cool if we could do something like that, simRace.
Yeah, I would like to do a multi-class race.
Yeah. No, it's quite special.
Yeah. Okay, Jason, how are we going to spice this race up? I think let's take our SLS AMGs onto the track.
Yeah, I'll just park them across the start finish line.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome Zander. I saw you registered on the forum. Yeah, and he's getting involved, absolutely. So we're 41 laps down of 43. So Jadwat's pretty much got this in the bag, and he'll extend his championship lead now. And he's looking good for that button box from SimTech Simulation Equipment. Yeah, so Jadwat doing a fine job, nice and consistent. Had a great battle at the start of the race with Jadwat, which was with Chris Langerfeld, which is fantastic to watch.
For the last 18 laps, that gap hasn't changed there between Jadwat, Swanepoel and Langerfeld. Looks like Absmeyer is closing. I think it was 24 seconds behind at one stage. Not sure though. I think we must get some kind of dynamic ballast. As the race is going on, get our YouTube viewers to vote for who gets ballast.
Fan boost.
Yeah,
or fan unboost. Yeah, well, we ran like sort of a ballast system from race to race a couple of seasons ago, but it didn't go down too well. So, sort of the guy who won the race with more balance than the guy that came second for the following race. That was sort of proving very demotivating for the guys running at the front all the time. So, which I understand.
The balance of performance is definitely better.
Got a number of guys came to me and said, "This is not really working. It's really not doing my motivation any good." So I'm like, "Well, I can't have that." So, so we're just going for a sort of a general ballast through the season, the BOP, and might see some changes to that next season. Looking at things again. And
yeah, maybe we can figure out some fan boost. That'll be great.
Yeah. Just a lap and a half remain now for Bashir Jadwat to take victory here at Road America. Hopefully I haven't said that too soon, but he's looking pretty comfortable. Stein is moved away from Galvanes in 5th position, it looks like. And the gap's only half a second. Started the final lap of the race, lap number 43. Should open up the gap to Swanepoel a bit. This is Holden-Jones now arrived at the Stein.
Okay, if I'm doing my math right, this is unofficial. Jadwat will be on 147, Langerfeld on 140, and Absmeyer on 136.
Okay, that's going into the final round at the Nordschleife.
Yeah, that's going into the final round. Swanepoel is currently 14th in the championship at 69 points, so he's quite a way off.
Yeah.
Stain. I think he'll be on 128. So, as I say, unofficial, I think Jadwad's going to lead Langeveld by 7, and Avsmeyer is going to be 4 points behind Langeveld.
Wow, very close.
83 overtakes in this race.
Wow.
Probably all of them in the first half of the race.
First half.
Yeah, Jadwad well deserved coming around the final turn to win this race. Started in second place. He led all but 3 of the laps. Karl Swanepoel led 2 of them. Langeveld led 1. Here he goes to win the race. Heineken 10th, Governor 11th, Swanepoel is going to finish a well-deserved second place. Here comes Langeveld, final podium position for him. That is going to be Edwards finishing in 12th as he crosses the line. Here comes Avsmeyer. Avsmeyer started in 4th place and he's going to finish in 4th as well. Stain is going to come around for 5th place. Behind him is going to be Geldnys in 6th. Geldnys started in 9th. Gustav Jacobs is going to finish in 7th. He started all the way down in 14th. So making up 7 places through this race. Matthew Boys in 8th. As I said, Jadwad leading all the laps except for Swanepoel led 2 of them, Langeveld led 1 at the start. Here comes Matthew Boy. Jacobs finishing in 7th, Matthew Boy in 8th. Victor de Kock, brilliant job on debut, he started in 17th, finishing in 9th.
Great debut, Victor. We really enjoyed that. And Chris Heineke is really in the pit lane. Lap down, I think it was. Well, that concludes round 4 of the South African simGT series. And thank you very much for joining me, Werner. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome, Jason. Thank you.
And until a week's time when we go to, I think it's Interlagos for the final 2018.1 South African simGT Sprint Q series. All the best until then, and we'll see you in the live stream. Goodbye for now.